Hello, everyone, and welcome to Belladonna Grace. Hope you're having a nice day so far. So today we're going to do a reading on what can we change in our life. So yesterday we did we looked at if we're thinking of having a change, and then I did mention a few times that today we might look into what we could change in our life, because maybe you don't know what it is to change. And maybe we can see if the universe has a suggestion for us or the cards. Okay, so the question is, what area in my life should I be looking at to change? Could use some change. What area in my life could use some change? Side. So we're going to pull 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll also do the last one here. I'll just kind of move it out of the way. I move my camera a little more so I can see more, but I don't know if this is better or not. Okay. So what area in our lives could maybe we look at that could use a little change perhaps? Okay, so there's 5 decks. We're going to put 5 stones on, and then it's a pick a card reading again. And then you can just pick one of the decks, and we'll move forward like that. Okay, so we'll put the rose quartz there. Let's put the black obsidian here. Let's put the big one down. Big quartz one in the middle. And let's put the amethyst here. And let's use garden stone. Okay, so those are our choices. This looks nice in the light. So choose one of the decks. Either go by the number, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or go by the stone. Okay, and we'll get started. So we'll start over here on deck 1, and let's get going. So, oops, sorry about that. What area could we change in our lives? Okay. So if we are experiencing, if we are kind of living in a little bit of a state of fear, let's take a look at that. There's lots of reasons to celebrate. These are almost like opposite cards. So this is celebrations, this is good things coming, this could be weddings. In other type readings, these could be weddings and stuff like that. So what we have to change here, what we're looking at to change here is the fear. We have to take a look at the fear and how are we going to change that? Um, Truly, you need to start celebrating things in your life. Celebrate Easter just passed. Did you, even if you were by yourself, did you still make an event, a special event? If last year or the years before, you were spending it with family, what did you do for Easter? If you're not following the traditions or like celebrating the way you used to, that might be something to look at, and that might help alleviate some of your fear. I do notice that I am getting a lot of fear and worry cards sometimes when I'm doing these readings. So it's obviously out there. So celebrate. And what could you celebrate? Just celebrate life. Celebrate the fact that if you had COVID and you're fine, great. Or just to celebrate that you have a place to live, or you do have friends and family, or if you don't have friends and family, you have something. Maybe you have a nice pet, or you have skills or something like that. So that's what you got to do. You just got to celebrate life a little bit to get out of that fear a little bit. Okay, so the Black Obsidian. The Lovers. Message. Okay, so what do you have to change? Um, this is most likely something to do with your romantic life. If you have somebody in your life, not saying to change, it's not actually saying you got to change your lover. Don't for sure, not that. Um, you may want to change something within the relationship. You probably, if you have, you could be in a very good relationship already, and you might want to change it up a bit like that. And it does say message, so it could be you mean need to communicate more with the person that you're having a relationship with. Maybe send a nice special text. These are tough times right now, and people may not express how they're feeling um, with with the fear of the economy and the illness and health and all that stuff that's coming up. Um, this may be time to communicate and stuff like that, and keep in touch, send messages. It's very strong like to send a message to keep in touch. So if you're a person who doesn't really um, go out and reach out to people, that might be a nice thing to do. This is also about choice. And so let's say you're not in a romantic relationship. This is a card of choice. And again, it's still with message. So communicate more or reach out more to, so that's what maybe you want to change is like the way you reach out to people and to speak to people. Okay, let's do the big one here, the quartz. Let's see what's in there. King of Swords with Harmony. Okay, so where you're going to make some change is how you maybe how you do business. It could be how you deal with authority in your life. If you want to have a little more harmony, you may want to take a look at having more harmonious relationships with the leaders in your life, the bosses in your life, the people that you look up to. Um, so you may want to do that to have a more harmonious relationship with coworkers. It could be a doctor if you work in a hospital and stuff like that. Um, let's actually do another one for this. For whatever reason, it's calling for another card. We'll see why. I'm probably not hitting the mark. The celebration. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be really strong how you handle maybe the way yourself at work or it could even be co-workers or it seems to be someone in particular that you kind of hold an authority to have a more harmonious relationship with that person or to even celebrate the fact that this person is in your life, something like that. Okay, so let's try this one. offer. The Eight of Cups is like walking away from something, and then we have an offer. So you may be a person who's kind of like doesn't want to try new things, and you tend to, or you may leave situations, or you may not trust things that people are offering you, stuff like that. So you may want to look at maybe trusting the people more in your life, or trusting what's being offered to you in life. Um, you could, it's if you trust, just because you trust in something, it doesn't mean you have to take the offer, but you can trust that it's coming from a good space. Because when you start to learn to trust, um, then what you're trusting will happen, may start to happen. So trust that, you know, what's being given to you, it may be something to look at. And maybe not everything's a scam, and maybe not everything has a, an ulterior motive. All right. So maybe you want to try to look at your if you have any trust issues, and maybe make a little change there. Okay, so let's do the last one. Garden stone. We have the Wheel of Fortune with moving on. Okay. So, this is another thing too. It's almost the same as this. You may not wait for a project or something to come to completion before you start, you know, going, start backing away from it or drop the project. Um, you might here you might want to give more, even if it's not comfortable situation, is to try to give more time to a project or more time to a situation. It doesn't mean you have to stay in the situation, but before you make your decision to leave it or to move on, is to give it a little bit of time. Here is we're saying like things come in their time. There's a season and a reason for everything. And if you don't, like, it's like if you plant a seed and then the next day you go in and, oh, there's no plant. Okay, I'll try something else. Give it some time. Maybe it'll grow, maybe it won't grow. Don't know. Did you write? Maybe there's no sun or you didn't plant it in the right soil. So that would be it. Just hang on there and wait a little bit before you move on. Okay, so this is the card for everybody. Let's see if I can get that on the camera. Yeah. So we have mind and mental with the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is starting new projects, and these are kind of more towards not financial projects. The Pentacles are about money usually. Not always. It's about money. It's also about the earth. It's about grounding. It's about being human. And then mind and mental. So you may want to make a change in the way you think about maybe your value. What what do you have to offer the world? What is your like value monetarily? What is your value emotionally, spiritually? Um, Check your mind. Are you, giving yourself enough credit, and are you offering the world your full value? Maybe take a look at that. Okay, then. Well, thank you very much for joining me tonight or today. And if you have any comments, you can leave them in the comment section. You can feel free to like or subscribe to videos. Thank you very much. Bye bye.